Here we go. Romanian with the muscles on a bike.
Eat them as we've done for a long time ago.
We're members of the animal kingdom. Leave your brothers and sisters in the sea. Prince! Oh my gosh, I'm pretty damn sure I gave Chip that quote. That's one of my favorite quotes from Prince. Great.
What do you feel? How do you feel about oppression? Oppression.
Oppression?
Yeah.
I don't know what that means.
Opresión.
Opresión.
Spanish is so easy. I don't know. Oppression is opresión. Oh, opresión. It's almost like all the languages are connected. Why can't we just understand what each other?
That's a good translation.
Yeah, it's a good translation. Nice.
Venga, Antonio.
Just slip out the back, Jack.
I don't know.
Like oppression, what?
Up
Like
the key,
in books or
Lee.
Like, let's say there's a person who wants to oppress another person or an individual. How would you feel about that?
it's not good.
Wouldn't be
Not
great.
good. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
Okay.
Papi gilipollas del grupo.
Do you think that the
The fuck language is that? What language is that?
powerful should have the right to oppress the powerless?
Nice question. Do the powerful have the right to oppress the powerless? I wonder what he gets.
No.
No. Okay.
Not at all.
Even if it benefits them.
No.
Yeah, I don't care.
Okay. Even if the powerless don't know that they're being oppressed.
Still, it's
Still,
Still
it's
not the
it's
right
bad.
thing.
Not the
Okay.
right thing.
Even if the powerless looked different.
No.
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 Okay. Then how do you feel about the animals that we force into slaughterhouses for us? Do you think we're oppressing them?
Well, it depends on how you treat them. And
I love it immediately. Well, it depends on how you treat them. Does oppression have anything to do with the type of treatment? God, I gotta be honest with you. I'm freaking out right now because I just found out I might be leaving in 2 days. I might be leaving in 2 days back to California, and I'm like, I just bought groceries. And like, I don't know, man. It's weird. I thought I would have more time to like get all my shit together and like I want to go home. And there's an action in LA that I want to do. So I'm just going to come to LA and do action. I'm going to work in LA and in Southern California. But still I feel like I was just getting into a groove, you know? I don't know, man. I'm just so weird being on the road, and I don't know. Take a sip of that beer. Thank you. I will be drinking beer for the rest of this session. Hate to tell you, but I've already had a couple, and we're going to keep going because it's been a rough day filled with cops and bastards, man. Cops and shitholes, shitbirds, guys telling me that they love killing animals. It's just been a rough day. It's just been a lot today, man. Not really particularly. I mean, I'm not in handcuffs. I mean, everything worked out. I didn't even get a ticket. I got arrested. I didn't get arrested. I got threatened to be arrested. I got threatened with a ticket, and I did not get either of those. Isn't that funny? Also, even the piece of shit who threatened me about the fish, like I just killed a bunch of fish. Like, great. What's that got to do with me? Why are you telling me? You come over here to tell me fish tales? The fuck? And he's like, you're not supposed to be parked there. I'm like, what the fuck difference does it make to you? Get the fuck out of my face, man. The fuck is wrong with you? You're going to find out. You're going to find out. You'll find out. Like he's all trying to threaten me and intimidate me. Boy. And the windshield. You're right. And the windshield too. You're right. All the dead bugs. It was a lot, man. No matter what the plans end up being, we are here with you. Thank you, Antero. I feel like it's all going to be good. It's all going to work out. But, stress is a bitch. You can like intellectualize and be like, okay, well, everything's, but then I kind of feel like uprooted sometimes. I get into a groove. I feel like I'm pretty good at that. Like getting into the groove of things, going with the flow. I feel like I'm pretty good with going with the flow. I'm pretty good. I think so. I think I'm pretty good at that. I think so. I don't know. Everyone says that probably, but I feel like I am. And I'm not upset. I'm not upset. I'm just a little stressed, you know? And I feel like in the last 2 years, I've had a lot of stress marks come in. I had a lot of stress marks move in. And if you look up videos from me from 1 year ago, I look like a different person. Yeah. It will work itself all out. You're right. Exactly. Is Kindness Town here? Kindness Town. We're always there for our friends. But for some reason, every time I start singing to him, he just stops responding. Earlier today, Kindness Town came on the stream and I started singing for him and he just disappeared. I was very sad about that. I was sad. We had questions for him and he just disappeared. Just left me hanging. I thought that in Kindness Town we were always there for our friends, but I guess not.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like if you have, for example, un perro, ¿no?
You have a dog.
If you have a dog and you treat
Okay, so that's definitely Spanish now. So why the hell was that other language? Whatever.
them right and you let them do, like if they're gonna have like a good place to live, then I don't think it's that bad. But
Totally depends on
yeah,
like your intentions and
I love that so much. Like, oh, it's your intention, whether or not you're oppressing them. So they just told me that oppression was wrong. I don't have the right to oppress.
Okay.
with that animal.
So what you're saying is that the oppressor can oppress the powerless if they have a good intention in it.
No, I don't think it's justified to oppress no one or
Okay.
either. But it depends. I think it depends on what you consider oppression. And
Would you say forcing them into slaughterhouses is oppression?
I do think.
Yeah.
I do think.
Oh, that's a good one. See, Chip's like, I love Chip because I would have said, what do you think oppression is? What is it? Why don't you tell me? What do you think it is? It depends on what you think oppression is. Well, what do you think it is? Tell me. I'd love to know. I'm dying to know what you think oppression is. Tell me. I'm all ears. But he said he made a joke and it was great. That's fantastic.
It's an oppression.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
So I do think it's wrong.
Bringing them to life for the sole purpose of killing them,
Yeah, I do think that's wrong.
using them for their body, using them for what they can give with their body, nothing more. They have personalities, they
Yeah,
have
but the thing is, like, if we don't do that, like if we don't kill them and do all those process, then we wouldn't have anything to basically like eat, like any protein or anything.
Do
So
you
I
think
think
you can't get anything from plants, like plant?
no, but I'm saying like I think one of the purpose of them is to eat them, as we've done for a long time ago. I think.
So if we give a purpose to them, it's okay to oppress them because we give it a purpose.
I mean, it depends on how they're like. For example, it depends in.
This is so good. This is one of my favorite Chip episodes, man. This is one of my favorites so far. It depends. So it's okay to oppress them if we give them if we assign them a purpose, then it's okay. Cool. It's a really strange phenomenon that people agree up to the point their worldview is challenged, then do 180 degree on everything they agree on. No, I love this though. So when is it okay to oppress someone? What is it? I think this is brilliant. It's very nice.
When you're eating meat, like I don't know. O sea, es que no sé, I don't know.
But when you're eating meat, you're eating somebody's body, somebody who
But you
didn't
can-
want to
you
die.
can eat, like two different types of you. You can eat to eat two different types of meat. You can eat like type of meat that the cows are like in a place where they're not like being treated like wrong and they are like free.
Is she leaning her head against the other girl? Is that what's happening here?
Or you can eat type of meat that it's I don't know, just like be in a place and stuck
Is she leaning her head up against the other girl's shoulder? Is that what she's doing?
there and not have like a free life and
She
everything.
is.
So I don't know.
So you think it's okay if we what you're saying. I'm sorry, I got lost in the whole conversation here. So what you're saying, it's okay if the animal lives free. It's okay to kill them, even if it's optional to us, because we can survive and thrive without it, right? So for us, meat, any animal product are just optional products to us. We do them for whatever because we can.
No, she's not sure.
But the same thing happens with plants. Like we plant them with the sole purpose of killing them and eat them.
Yeah, but like, do you know what sentience is?
What? Sorry.
Sentience.
Sententia, yeah.
So plants are not sentient. So animals have the capability to have subjective experience. They have the capability of emotions. They feel happiness. They feel sadness.
I think this is always a problem. When people tell me the plant question, I always say, do you think it's the same to slit a cow's throat as it is to step on a tomato? Is that what you're saying? That killing a tomato is the same as killing a kitten? Is that what you think? You can't humanely commodify someone. End of story. Counterculture vegan. End of story. Is that the end of the story? Well, what about if there are talking Hitler bears? What about that? What if you went in a time machine and you went back in time and you found a talking Hitler bear? Would it be okay to commodify the talking Hitler bear? What do you think? Would that be okay?
They feel pain, most importantly, whereas plants do not, because plants do not have a central nervous system or a brain. So animals have all that. So that is why it's bad to do this to animals.
From my point of view, if the animals do live a great life or like
It's okay to
live
kill.
freely, I don't know how to say it, but just live freely.
Did you live freely?
Yes.
Did you have a good life?
I did have a great life, but probably
Okay.
not freely.
Well, how old are you, by the way?
I'm 18.
18, yeah. Yeah, well, you would have already been dead if you would have been an animal, because animals are killed like way before they reach adulthood. Well, or they solely, the minute that they reach adulthood, are killed. So maybe right about now, would you be okay dying given that you were given a good life and your mother telling you, well, that's why I raised you, to kill you, because that's your purpose?
Dude, nice.
I think that's wrong. Like my personal point of view is that that's wrong.
Yeah.
One brave woman. So she looks tender. Jesus, Juliana. God damn, Juliana. I guess I'm really sensitive about calling women tender right now, because did you hear about how there's been a bunch of documents dumped about Jeffrey Epstein, and Donald Trump is mentioned multiple times, and that the grand jury interviews and everything, it's all coming public, and that Donald Trump's in it a lot, and that a 13-year-old girl said that he raped her. Donald Trump did in the 90s. Did you hear about this? Has anybody else heard about this? Holy shit. It scares the fuck out of me. Talking filter xenomorph robot baby Hitler. Talking filter. Talking Hitler xenomorph robot baby Hitler. Yes, indeed. Mm-hmm. The meat, the flesh. I ate a liver with a side of fava beans. Yes. Oh, AccuWeather says it's not true. Damn it. AccuWeather! Foiled again, AccuWeather. Why is AccuWeather always jamming me up? Dang it. Killing plants, though. All right, so I think the answer to the killing plants thing, rather than chips, like, well, central nervous systems, though, which is fine, but people are assholes. They'll start talking about mycelium networks and shit. Merely ask, do you think it's the same thing? If I stabbed a tomato in front of you or cut an apple in front of you, would that be the same as if I stabbed a kitten? Would that be the same? They always say no. Well, kind of. You might get some psychopath. And if the client, I'm like, all right, you're fucking done. You're a psychopath. Yeah. Tender. She's so tender. 18. Tender. Spanish. Tender meat. meat. Nom 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 nom. It's so gross. Gross. Why are you antibiotic resistance? Don't eat animals if you're antibiotic. Oh, you heard about it. Thank you, Kathy Skywalker. I thought I was the only one who heard about the Jeffrey Epstein stuff. With I've been saying it. What's really weird is that I've been saying this for the past like week about the just mentioning it about the Jeffrey Epstein and Donald Trump thing because when Donald Trump said he would, oh yeah, maybe I would declassify it. Well, a lot of that is Ron DeSantis, and I don't know if you ever noticed, but Donald Trump's talked a lot of shit on Ron DeSantis, and I fucking love it. I'm there for it, man. It'd be so funny if because these Republicans got to start eating each other eventually. They have to. They have to. They're all going to start eating each other. Yeah, it's really creepy and not at all surprising. Not at all surprising. Well, we all sort of knew, right? But like, I mean, he said that Jeff is a great guy that he loves spending time with. He also said that Ghislaine Maxwell is a fine person. So yeah, I mean, like, we all knew that he kind of had a soft spot for the Epstein crew, that he had been friends with them for a long time. What about the Clintons, Sky? Well, the Clintons aren't running for fucking president right now, are they? What about the Clintons? What about the Clintons, huh? He's on the Epstein list. He's on the Epstein list. Somebody's on the Epstein list. And then maybe that's still just part of a plant, but I reckon lots of people know as little about plants as I do. All I was saying, those heifers right there. Elliot Davis, what did you say? I think you should refer to the plant as opposed to what the plant bears, because when I think of a tomato, I think of a tomato that has already been picked. Yes, I'm thinking of a tomato that's already been picked too, but I'm saying if I pick what I normally say is the tomato thing, or if I say if I pick an apple, if someone says like comes back at me with that shit, okay, fine. If I pick an apple off of a tree or cut even a branch from the tree, is that the same thing as pulling the leg off of a living cat and watching them scream? Is that the same thing? One, if I ripped the leg off a cat in front of you, I would be considered absolutely insane and I would be put in jail immediately. But if I cut off a branch or a piece of a tree or just pick the apple, I'd be fine, right? No one would care. Everyone would say, that's weird. Money and misogyny and righteousness with God. The grab him by the guy, nothing to see here. Yeah. The guy who admitted to regularly running into Miss Teen USA underage girls' dressing rooms. That guy? Yeah, that guy. What about the Franklins, though, Sky? The Franklins. Looking out for those Franklins. Look out for them. Gave its life for my salad. That tomato. Mm-hmm.
Raising animals and everything for the sole purpose of killing them, and it is morally like it's not ethic.
Yeah.
But if they're just there because they're natural, like there's.
Does that sax player follow Chip around? He's playing George Michael right now. Tonight's the night that we go vegan. If you don't, then I'll start to kill you. And I should have known better than to treat a friend. Should have known better than to have a friend that isn't vegan, but I got stupid.
But then, do you know about anything about the dairy industry, for example?
Not really. Like I've heard about it, but not really.
I've heard about it. Here we go. Here's Chip's unbelievable example of the atrocities committed on dairy farms.
Yeah. So why do you think cows produce milk?
Not enforcement.
Yeah, well, they have to have babies as mammals, so they have to be pregnant. So farmers don't wait for them to decide to get pregnant, but they forcefully impregnate them. Somebody puts their hands in their anus, both their cervix, and injects bull semen. Somebody else has to jerk off a bull for that to happen. And after 9 months, when the baby is born, what do you think happens to the babies?
13.
Well, first of all, they get separated from their mothers because the milk has to go for human consumption, whereas the cow produces milk for their babies. But we say, well, it's for us, not for your baby. And if the baby's a male, yeah, they get killed, as you said, because they don't.
No, we don't defend that. Like, I don't defend that, but I do think. Don't you think like these are natural living things? It's not like not like
Oh, we want it natural now. We want it natural. What part is natural? What part is? Excuse me. You want to wait around for bulls to fuck cows? Is that what you want?
But this is standard practice across the board, biological, free range, all of it. This is standard.
I don't defend that. I think that's wrong.
You
Totally
do it.
wrong.
Yeah.
You're
So if you
complicit.
think it's wrong and you don't defend that, that means you shouldn't participate in it, should it?
I don't. I personally don't.
Yeah. So you don't drink milk or cheese or any of it.
No, I mean,
There's no milk in that coffee right there, you dumb Spanish tender Spanish.
I don't. I drink oatmeal, but not because of.
Also, no cheese.
I do it.
Yeah. So you see, any animal product has a form of exploitation that is
And violence and slavery.
similar to this, because what farmers do is they see them as objects. They commodify them. They see them as things that bring them money. The minute they don't bring money anymore, they get killed because they're no longer.
And sorry.
Yeah, go on.
Do you think by us not participating and not getting that, do you think that would change something? It's not gonna change anything.
Oh, there we go. Will it change things? Maybe, maybe not. But is that the point? Do you want to be complicit in the crime? That's the answer. Maybe. Maybe not. It's not about changing anything. It's about whether or not you want to commit those crimes. That's what it is. Do you want to commit those crimes?
Well, there's two things. There's two things that you gotta ask yourself. First of all, is does it matter that it changes? It does change, but does it matter that it changes? Because the question is, which side of it do you want to be? Which type of person do you want to be? Do you want to be the type of person that knowingly participates in this, or one that doesn't? Right? I know most people aren't aware of all the practices and what's happening, and most people are just most people were just raised in a way that they say it's okay to do this to animals because somehow we have to, but we don't have to, and it's not okay. So the question is, which part of history do you want to be one? Right? Like imagine during slavery, there were people who were opposing slavery, and there were people who were continuing slavery and bringing up all sorts of reasons, like, well, we need it. It's good for the economy, and yeah, maybe in those scenarios, the way they in their mind it made sense. But we didn't need to do that. We stopped it, and now we look at it back, and we're like, "How the hell did we do that?"
Yeah.
We're kind of in the same position right now, where we are enslaving these animals. We're bringing them to life. We're exploiting them, and we're killing them when they're no longer good for us. So why are we doing this?
I think society takes a big part of it, but I also think it should be regulated from.
It should be regulated. It should be regulated. Somebody else should do something about this. Somebody else should do something about this. All right, fair enough. Somebody should be doing something about this, and we're working on that. Don't you worry, little soldier, you little tender Spaniard. Don't you worry. But while we're working on that, maybe you can stop committing crimes. Stop being part of it.
An upper part, because from my point of view, raising the animals for the purpose of killing them or getting them pregnant for the purpose of just for a benefit, I think that's wrong. And I don't think it should be allowed to do that.
Well, then you wouldn't have any animal products.
No. I mean, not in that conditions. Yeah, the practices. I think if the cows live freely and then once they're adults or whatever, they just die. We don't have to kill them. They just die. We eat their meat.
How would they just die?
Hold on, we'll just die. The anti-predation argument includes wanting to protect wildlife from natural disasters too, but all the debates I've seen only focus on carnivorous animals. Should we call all natural disasters? That's because the people in that on that side of the debate are pro-Holocaust. That's what they want to do. They are picking and choosing traits of other species, other tribes of Earth, and saying, we like these, but we don't like those, and we are the supreme race. So, as the master race, we will decide to exterminate this whole species because they are undesirable in our eyes. The narcissism involved with people who follow this line of thinking is fucking unforgivable. It's egregious. It's telling. If somebody is defending killing all the carnivores of any kind, or even killing spiders because they kill flies, they're speciesist, they're human supremacists, they're fucking pretty much, they're eugenicists, utilitarian, unethical pieces of shit. That's what they are. Don't let them fool you. They're just Nazis. There's always Nazis. And you know what their answer to everything is? Kill them all. Kill them all. We don't like them. Kill them all.
They don't die. No animals reach oldhood enough to die. There's no. We don't. So the number one killer of animals is humans.
Yeah, no. I mean, if they do live through,
Yeah.
In the future, what future? The future is now, kid.
and once they die, just naturally die,
Yes.
we hit them.
I don't think that's wrong.
I don't think that's.
I don't think it's wrong that if you hit a person with your car, that you want to eat them afterwards. You do what you want to do,
No, because
right?
then you kill them.
But if you intentionally kill a person, no. But if you accidentally hit somebody with your car and then you decide that you want to eat them, I mean, you do you. I don't think it's wrong to eat them. But like, but that's the scenario, right?
That's killing,
somebody dies accidentally, and then you say you can eat them. Yeah, you can do that if you want. I don't oppose that.
Grandma.
The idea is that we don't bring them to.
I'm going to start hanging out at hospices because there's a bunch of people about to die and I want to eat them. The truth is, nobody wants to eat old animals because old animals are just like every other old animals. You can look at old humans. Not much meat on them bones. Not much meat on them bones, but they look tender when they're 18 and they're Spanish, don't they? The argument is not genuine, it's just a psychopathic tool for self-justification. Indeed. People who want to cull predators are predators. I was not being facetious with my question. I'm not anti-predation. Oh, Goblin, I wasn't thinking of it. I wasn't trying to be mean to you. I hope you didn't read that to me. It's just that I've dealt a lot with these fucking Holocaust promoters lately, and I am a little bit short. I've been talking about it a lot. So I'm terribly sorry if I came off that way towards you, Goblin. It wasn't my intention at all. It was not my intention. Those pro-Holocaust morons. That's right. Exactly. Pro-Holocaust morons. I'm over it. I don't like Nazis, and I don't suffer them lightly.
To life, exploit them, and commodify them. That's the idea, right?
My whole life, I've fucking hated Nazis. My whole life. And now there are some Nazis who call themselves vegans, but they're not vegans. They're Nazis. They're just Nazis. Just old-fashioned Nazis. That's it. The Nazis, like, people like to think that, like, Nazis hated Jews, right? And it's true, they did. But what they really didn't like was anyone who possessed inherent qualities that they found undesirable. And the Jews had already suffered for many, many years, especially Eastern European Jews had suffered for a very long time of this stereotyping and this constant marginalization and racism. It had been a long time it'd been a long time coming. Pogroms were fairly common. People killed Jews for fun. There's lots of examples in it in history, and Shakespeare wrote a play about it. It was common enough that Shakespeare wrote a whole play about it called The Merchant of Venice. It's very worth checking out. Anyway, but it wasn't just that they were Jewish. Being Jewish made them a real easy target, but they weren't the only ones. It was the infirm, the enfeebled, the black, the gay, all of them. Anyone who possessed, or the artist, the intellectual, there were all sorts of people who, if they possessed an undesirable trait to the master race determined, because they were the master race, they felt empowered and in the right to exterminate those others because they knew better. They thought that, hey, noses that look like this, undesirable. They even had measurements of skulls that look like this. We don't like them. And they used language like They're a threat to the human race. They're poisoning our bloodlines. They are literally killing us. That's what they said. They're killing us with their blood. And they said it enough times out loud that people started to believe it. Young men started to believe it. Young men who thought violence was a good solution to all of their problems started believing it. People like Vegan Gaines, people like Harry, people like Hunter Toby, people like Avi, people like Apuda. They see the undesirable traits of other species and they say we don't desire those traits. So we think in our infinite wisdom as the master race that we should exterminate those other species because they're literally killing. They're ripping innocent babies apart, and they'll use this colorful language, just like the Nazis did, just like the Nazis. There's no difference. No difference. To say that some races deserve to live and some don't, because you are the arbiter who decides which traits in other species are desirable and which aren't. It's human supremacy. Not every Nazi did genocide. That's true. Some Nazis were really hardcore trying to kill Hitler. Like that's very much. Sophie Scholl was a Nazi, and she is one of the most inspiring people. She got her head chopped off because she criticized Nazis, but she was a Nazi. She was like a star student in the Hitler Jugend. She and her brother, and they used the guillotine to chop their heads off. And they were 18 years old, 19 years old, something like that. Interrupting chips. Don't advocate for Holocaust. That's right. To the rivers of Babylon, all the way to Zion. Is that a Zion thing?
Chip here. If you believe it's acceptable to consume a dead individual, whether animal or human, you are still treating them as commodities, regardless of whether they died of natural causes or accidentally. Once they die, theoretically that body is still theirs and they cannot consent to you using their body, so then it would still be wrong to use their body against their consent. After listening to this discussion back, I realized that I was wrong to say all that. My intent was to highlight the ethical issues within animal agriculture, but I ended up agreeing to something I don't actually agree with.
And by the way, the impact of one person not participating in this is...
Interrupting Sky here. He's absolutely right. There's also respect thing, right? It's not just about rights, it's about respect. You don't eat your grandma. Maybe you won't violate individual rights, but you don't want to commodify dead bodies. It doesn't go well. Every time we have commodified dead bodies, it looks very, very nasty. And we want to respect the dead. God bless the dead.
100 animals per year. That's 3 of you, that's 300. Yeah, that's up to 100 animals per year. That's a lot of animals, isn't it?
It is.
And even if it's just one, to them it's their whole life. For you, it's what? 10 minutes of food, 10 minutes of pleasure, right?
It is a good point of view. But
yeah. Yeah, because I'm not like, and it's not about the diet. I don't like sitting here and talking to people.
I mean, one of the things that I really like, National Socialist Party, the National Socialist Party, they were, well, there's a group called the Futurists, and if you read the Futurist Manifesto, they were fascists, and they weren't necessarily Nazis, they were Italian, but they're pretty awesome to learn about. And unfortunately, old school futurists, now like a neo-futurist is something different, but like the original idea of the people we called futurists, you can look at Wikipedia, the Futurist Manifesto, and it's so much fun. It's really short. It's not like the Communist Manifesto. It's fast. Everything about futurists, they were fast. Riding machines, fast. Go to war, kill as many people, fast. Women are horrible. Men are powerful, fast. We want to go fast and ride machines. Burn the daylight, burn the night. Let's live the life to the fullest. They were really into that shit, but they totally bought into fascism and pro-war and pro-masculine energy and shit like that. But you also have to understand, man, it was like the 20s. They didn't know what the fuck fascism. Fascism was new. It was a shiny new toy. It was an interesting idea, wasn't it? Wasn't it? I mean, a lot of people, even including this country, toyed with fascism and eugenics. Eugenics was something that people really believed in the early 20th century, and apparently the early 21st century, because we've got all these people talking about eugenicism all of a sudden, killing off entire species because we don't like the traits that they possess. Ding dong. Welcome back, Nazi. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. Welcome back. It's been so long since you've been gone. Welcome back. I didn't know what to do so long. Welcome back. It wasn't the same without all you Nazi bastards. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. Never had a single lesson. Let's go.
And telling them what to do. It's about the animals. We constructed a society where with all of this is out of sight, out of mind, right? You don't see slaughterhouses. You don't see these practices. Nobody talks about them, but they do happen, and they happen every moment.
Yeah,
and when
you think the only way you're right about to or change something about it is awareness and like
I think there should be a change from the upper part, from like government or something.
Yeah, but
Government or
probably
something.
very difficult, but probably like
Government,
awareness
though.
throughout society and I don't know in every part of the world. Mainly for me, the main problem is the how do you say it? The practices. I don't know how to say.
Yeah, but the idea is that we live in a supply and demand.
Fuck supply and demand. Are you okay with do the powerful have the right? This is interesting because Chip was saying that his interesting. Chip was saying that ChatGPT said that he sometimes doesn't come back to the original argument, and I would agree in this case right here. As soon as she's like, "Well, the thing about it, the government, do you have the right as the powerful to oppress and exploit the powerless?" What do you say? What do you say? What do you say? Slave trade has always made people in the business of slaves a lot of money. Oh my God! Somebody said that today. Oh, you should go to Omaha Steaks with your chicken truck. And I went like, Omaha Steak is not, they sell cows, but yeah. And she goes, well, I hear it's a really good company to work for, the front desk lady. And I said, well, there's always good money in killing animals. You just have to be able to kill. There's always good money in killing. Hiring someone to kill another someone is always expensive. It always costs you money. It just does. If you want to kill a human or a rat, if you wanted to hire a man to come to your house and kill all the rats or the termites, it costs money. Killing costs money. It's a service that humans will gladly provide for a small fee.
Market, right? So that means when you go and buy an animal product, you tell farmers do more of this. That's all it is.
It is.
Right? So that's your involvement in the matter. That's why you're complicit in it. That's why I sit and talk to people, because in a democracy, industries will flourish, right? If at some point there are enough people not participating in it, like there are enough vegan people, then we say, okay, we can go to governments and do something about it. But at this point in time, less than 3% are like that. So at this point in time, we need more people to go vegan. But even if, like, again, like, you just got to ask yourself, which side of it do you want to be? I do fully believe that at some point it's going to end. We're going to look back at it and be like, how were we so barbaric to these individuals? Because they feel, they have emotions. Like, you have had dogs or cats. You have seen them. You have seen them behave as if they know what they're doing, as if they have preferences and choices. And cows, pigs, all of them are exactly the same. They're exactly the same. So us forcing them into these situations is like, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, that's why I'm opposing to the practices rather than.
Yeah, but if you want to oppose it, that means you should go vegan. There's no other way.
I like it. Go vegan. Abstain. Stop being complicit. And their little.
Yeah,
You're right about that.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. Do you know what veganism is, by the way? Because a lot of people think it's a diet, but it's not a diet.
It's not eating like animal product, like
Yeah.
products.
Yeah, it's part of it. It's part of it, but it's more like a moral
Like
principle.
not just eating, but like also, well, like the clothes and everything.
Yeah, exactly. So we oppose any.
Yeah, I found out. I was talking to someone in Kansas yesterday, born vegan, and she said that somebody trapped some kind of wildcat, like a panther type animal, like a cougar, captured a cougar in Kansas by using a cow's carcass, and they trapped a cougar. And I said, why would you want to trap a cougar, though? To prove they could, was the answer. To prove they could. Just to see if they could catch the cougar. People are horrible, man. Horrible. I don't know. What are we going to do, huh? Half the vegans want to give us Holocaust.
Commodification of animals. That means for food, for clothing, for entertainment, is we don't go to zoos or circuses that exploit animals.
Yeah.
Because there's no reason for it, right? So if you think that for circuses or for zoos it's optional, it's ridiculous.
It is.
Then you should think the same for food, because they are all optional, because we can survive and thrive without them. And we can have great diets, great food enjoyment, and all of it without it. So that means,
Yeah. You have a great point. Yeah, you have a great point.
Mountain lions
you
are
guys
more
feel
like
you want to align with this
California,
definition, and I align your actions also.
Well, I'll think about it.
You'll think about it. Okay, just keep in mind.
At least, yeah. Probably read about it.
I'll give you some resources, but just keep
in mind that if you keep doing it, you're a fucking piece of shit.
in mind that going forward, when you buy an animal product, you will put an animal through cruel practices. They will go to a slaughterhouse because of you. Okay?
Okay.
So you are directly complicit in it. There's no,
Nice.
they were there or something. You are directly complicit in it. Do I give you 3 cards?
Yeah, okay. Thank you very much.
Yeah, okay. So I'll give you this one.
Thank you very much.
And this one. If you scan this or go on this website and type in this code, there's a thing called the most important speech you'll ever hear.
Challenge your belief.
I want you to watch that. It's just there. It's a really good place. And if you decide that they hook you up with Discord.
All right. Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. What are your names?
Gabriela.
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 Yeah.
Nice to meet you, Gabriela.
Maria.
Maria. I'm Chip.
Natalia.
Natalia. Nice to meet you.
Thank you.
I'm 37 years old, by the way. Let me tell you, the only regret in life is not being vegan earlier. And every vegan you talk to will say the same thing. Everybody, the minute you realize what you're participating in, it's fucked up and you don't want to be part of it. And then you're like, why didn't I start earlier, right? So give a look at it. And you're young, and it's good to be part of this other side of history. Let's make a change together, okay?
Yeah. Thank you very much.
Thank you
Have
so
a great
much.
day. Have a good one.
Not bad, not bad, not bad. Pretty good, Chipperoo. Chippery, chippery. Do you like to chipper and chipper? Gary Yarovsky, I don't know, man. Do you like ass bread? You take the turkey, you cut a hole in the turkey, you put the bread in the ass. Now you have ass bread. Ass bread is so great. That was so awesome. Chip is great. Everyone loves Chip. Go Chip. Chippery, chip, chiroo.